This morning, we are learning more about a sheriff's deputy under state investigation accused of using excessive force while trying to detain a man. We first showed you this shocking video last week. It turns out that deputy has a record of violating sheriff's office policies going back nearly 8 years. While we do want to point out, while we are showing the deputy, we are not naming him since at this time he's not charged with any crimes. This morning, John Schierick is looking into whether any of his violations were red flags that could have predicted what happened in that incident last year.
This is not the first time this Paulding County Sheriff's deputy has been accused of using excessive force. In this case, the sheriff cleared him, but the GBI is now conducting an independent investigation. According to the deputy's personnel file, back in 2015, his superiors wrote him up saying the deputy, quote, can be unnecessarily overly aggressive. He was recently written up for aggressive behavior when dealing with an inmate, end quote. The deputy was advised to undergo anger management counseling, and he was threatened with termination. In all, the deputy's personnel file shows he's been reprimanded at least 10 times. For example, he left a trainee all by himself in the book-in room for extended periods of time. He left drug evidence out in the open in the sheriff's office overnight. Another time, he arrested a man for battery, but failed to get an arrest warrant, so the suspect was released from jail. Charles Rambo is a retired Fulton County deputy who now trains law enforcement on how to prevent officers and deputies who violate policy from becoming repeat violators. Supervisors, Rambo says, are key.
When you recognize that there are problems, did you give the person the type of training that they needed in order to remediate the behavior? Did they have a policy that they should have abided by to conform their behavior towards performing duties?
Rambo says the deputy's violations over the years may amount to a pattern of carelessness in failing to observe the sheriff's policies, a pattern that may have contributed to the way the deputy detained this man.
If they continuously engage in that pattern in practice, by portion and time, it's time to show them the way out the door so that it doesn't become a liability for your agency or to the public that you're serving.
Again, the sheriff says the deputy did not use excessive force here, while the GBI has yet to decide. As for the man who was detained, he is now charged with obstruction of a law enforcement officer accused of failing to obey the deputy's commands. The Paulding County Sheriff's Office is not commenting on the deputy's personnel file, while this case is under investigation by the GBI. In Paulding County, John Schierick, 11 Alive News.